It's Thanksgiving morning and I was up early to finish my pies. For years, I have been using the E.D. Smith Pure Pumpkin. With everything that you add to it, it makes two pumpkin pies. And my crusts turned out okay. I prefer using all shortening. I found them really hard to work with because of the butter and the shortening combination. And these pie plates, I got them at Walmart and I really like them because they're nice and deep. And I also find that my crust cooks nice and even in these compared to the other pie plates that I had for years. So the pies are done for dinner. It is the afternoon now, and I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring just to kind of relax before I start making dinner. A lot of you had been leaving comments asking if I was going to share our dinner and recipes, and honestly, this year there's not a lot to share. I'm just keeping it really simple. I don't normally cook on Thanksgiving Monday. Usually I do it on Sunday, but our Thanksgiving was different this year, and I still wanted to make some little thing for dinner. And honestly, over the years, a lot of things have changed, loss of loved ones and parents and dementia and everything else going on in life. And for some reason, I've always found Thanksgiving for me has been the hardest holiday. I don't know why. I just always struggled with it compared to Christmas or Easter, Mother's Day, birthdays. For some reason, Thanksgiving was always the hardest holiday for me. And I always never really looked forward to it. I just kind of wanted it over with. And then with everything changing this year, our daughter didn't come home and we just got to enjoy the weekend. We had some plans. I shared some of it with all of you. And, this morning when I was making the pies, I just really did a lot of thinking and I was trying to be why do you get so sad? What is it about this holiday? And I think a lot of it, I was trying to recreate some of my mom's recipes and I just can't because they're ones that she made and it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that, there was no measurements. And I always looked forward to her Thanksgiving dinner. Even when I was married with kids, there was something about going to my mom and having her cook Thanksgiving dinner. That was a little break for myself and I always looked forward to it. And then I started cooking dinner and then she would come up to our house, put her feet up, have a drink, watch something, spend time with the grandkids, and then she'd sit down and, I'd plate up dinner and she said, "Oh, this looks so good." And I'd say, "Oh, how's your dinner?" And she'd say, "Oh, it's always better when somebody else makes it." And then my husband would do all the cleanup and then my daughter and I would drive her home. And it was always just a really nice Thanksgiving. And I think this weekend, there wasn't a lot of expectation. I had time to work through my feelings and my emotions. And I actually found it very healing and very therapeutic to remember Thanksgivings past and treasure them and be thankful for those memories, but also know that I can take some of the things from years past, add them to some of the things that I want to change. And I think that's really about having the good balance. So I'm done my coloring for now and I'm going to do this butterball stuffing. I have used it in the past. I've even put it inside the turkey and stuffed it, and it's been really good. But my husband always says that it's a little bit too moist. I know people don't like that word. So I'm going to do it a little bit earlier. So you cook it from frozen, and then after 45 minutes, you take it out, and then you break it up as best you can, and then you put it back in the oven and cook it for another 45 minutes. So I'm doing that ahead of time because I'm going to need the oven for the turkey roast. A few years ago, I didn't feel like making a great big turkey dinner, and I saw that they had butterball stuffed turkey roast, and I bought one and tried it, but I didn't really like it. And then I saw President's Choice here in Canada had a turkey breast roast, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. We've had a lot of luck with President's Choice products, and this was really good. It was 100% better than the butterball one, and I thought it'd be perfect for this year. So you cook it from frozen, in the oven, 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm doing mashed potatoes, carrots, and then I'll put the stuffing back in the oven to heat up. And then I'm doing packet gravy, and you just slice the roast up. And it works really well for our son because I can make a sandwich for him. And then we tried a couple of other things, but his sensory and texture issues, it's still hard, but he had a nice sandwich and of course a nice big slice of pumpkin pie. It was a really nice dinner. I was able to put something together, but I'm actually looking forward to next Thanksgiving, and I think having a better outlook and treasuring the memories from years past. is something I'm really glad that I was able to recognize this year, and I'm so thankful for that. And the boys enjoyed it. You know, they had lots of carrots. And then here's the roast. This is what it looks like. I found it was more like real turkey compared to the butterball one. And I was cleaning up the kitchen, and you know, the boys wanted some more carrots. They had a little bit of carrots and mashed potatoes with their kibble. So why not have a few more carrots? So anyways, Hunter had a really great day. We just had a really great weekend, and I'm glad that everything is done now. And I am going to go out for a walk with Linus. I love going out in the evenings. It's cooling down, and I wanted to see if there was any little Halloween displays. There was a few cute little things up, but it was really nice to get out, enjoy some fresh air, and just have like a little bit of time with Linus and just get a really good walk. And then there's a couple of things I want to do when I get home. I'm still thinking about, recipes and the Burr months and what to do and everything. And I wrote a note to myself about, this year and some things to do for next year. So these were some of my mom's dishes. She always put her cranberries in the bowl, and then she would put the olives and gherkins in the little tray. And I want to keep doing that. So I have some recipes here at the back for Thanksgiving. I do want to try making a stuffing, and then I put all of the recipes that I've been making in September and October at the beginning of the book, and then just trying to figure out if I want to put Christmas and everything all together, because it really is the Burr months, like all the way from September to December. It is a very magical time of the year for myself, so I'm going to think about it a little bit. And then, there's some other things that I want to try, like things that my mom did. I want to try a couple of things different. She never brined a turkey. I like to make my dressing outside of the turkey, and the Pioneer Woman, I do have her holiday cookbook. She has like Halloween, she has Mother's Day, brunch, Easter, the Thanksgiving. She has all different recipes here. So I do use her pie crust. So I thought I'd take a little look and, try and figure some things out on my own. Some of the things that my mom did, and then, have my daughter and I work together to kind of come up with new recipes and what we want to enjoy. She always likes like a cranberry sauce with like ginger and orange. My husband prefers the can. So I think it's nice to try and have some new traditions, but also keep some of the old. And since it's almost the middle of the month, I thought I'd go over like my October to-dos. I wanted to keep it really simple this month and enjoy the month, slow down, enjoy walks, bake. I've really been doing everything, and I'm so happy about that. Like, I feel this is the month I have enjoyed the most in 2025, and I'm so thankful for that. So we had tried doing this puzzle this weekend, and it was just too hard. The pieces weren't fitting in right and everything, and I didn't want to waste any time on that. So we went ahead and got the Charles Wasaki puzzle out. We did this last year, I think. I love this puzzle. We really enjoyed it. Andrew actually finished it while I was making dinner. I was kind of disappointed, but I really love like these little towns and the seasonal pictures. I just love it. It's just picturing yourself in here at a different time. It's a little escape from everything, and it was a puzzle that we were able to do this weekend. So it might not have been like the normal big dinner and all sorts of things going on this weekend. We had some activities and we really, really enjoyed it, but I think most importantly, it was the weekend that I needed, that I didn't even realize. So thank you for letting me share my journey with all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.